All right. Let's look at this example here. And so let's say we're selling lemonade. We've got a lemonade stand. And so what we found is the lemonade, so what we're given is the lemonade is $2 per cup. That's what we're selling it for. Okay, $2 per cup. The booth for our lemonade stand costs us $120. Okay, so we paid somebody $120 to have that location for that booth. And then the cost of materials, so lemons, sugar, and cups, all of this, if we break it down to a per cup of lemonade, basically is 50 cents for each cup of lemonade. So that's the cost of producing as far as materials for each cup of lemonade. So that's what our cost is per cup of lemonade. Okay. So this is what we're selling each cup for. This is the cost of each cup of lemonade that costs us to produce. And this is the cost of the booth. So now, first thing they want us to do is write the cost function. Okay? So the cost function is based on what's coming out of our pocket. So what's coming out of our pocket? Well, we've got $120 for the booth. So that's a one-time cost, so that's fixed, right? And then we've got the cost to produce each cup of lemonade, and that's 50 cents each. So our cost function is going to be C of X, where X represents each cup of lemonade. And so that's going to be what? It's going to be 0.5 times X plus 120. Okay, so that is going to be our cost function. Now, the next one is revenue. What about revenue? So revenue is how much money we're taking in, right? So it's how much money are we making per cup of coffee. Now, so that means here is our revenue, which is $2 per cup of lemonade. So our revenue, again, is just price times the number of cups of lemonade. So in this case here, it's just going to be 2x. And then our profit function is just the subtraction of the cost and revenue. So profit function is equal to revenue minus cost. And so in this case here, it's going to be 2x minus, now again, I'm subtracting the whole thing, so minus 1/2, I'm going to write it as a half, 1/2 x plus 120, and now I'm going to simplify this. So I'm going to say this is 2x minus 1/2 x minus 120. So our profit function then becomes what? It's going to become 1/2 or 3/2 x minus 120. So this down here becomes our profit function. So our profit function, our revenue function, and our cost function. Okay, now, the next question says, okay, what if we produce and sell 50 cups of lemonade? What would be our cost? Okay, no, our profit. What would be our profit? Okay, so our profit would be what? So we're going to use our profit function, and x in this case is going to be 50. So our profit for 50 cups of lemonade is going to be equal to 3/2 times 50 minus 120. Okay? So in this case here, we're going to get, let's see, 75 minus 120. Okay, so in this case here, we get what? negative $45. So we lost money, right? So we haven't made a profit yet. Okay? So now, but what if we sell 128 cups? Okay, so let's do 128 cups. Okay, so now we're going to do 3 halves times 128 minus 120, right? So 3 halves times 128 is 194, right? So this is 194 minus 120. So make sure you check my math, right? So this is 1.5. So half of this is 64. So if I add 64 to this, I get, oh, hold on, 192. And so now if I subtract 120 from 192, I get $72. All right, so now I made a profit. So if I sell 120, or if there was 128 cups of lemonade sold, then my profit would be $72. Okay. Now the next question, the last question they ask is, what about the break-even point? How many cups of lemonade would I need to sell in order to break even? So that would mean that my profit, or excuse me, my revenue and my cost is the same, which means my profit would be 0. So if I take my profit function, right, which is equal to 3 halves x minus 120, and I'm saying, okay, at what point would my profit be equal to 0? And so at this point, all I have to do is solve for x, which is the number of cups of lemonade I need to sell. So that would be what? So now I'm going to add 120 to both sides, right? So I get 3 halves x equals 120. And so if I multiply both sides by 2/3, right? So 2/3 times 3 halves gives me 1. So I get x equals what? 120 divided by 3 is 40. 40 times 2 is 80. So if I sell 80 cups of coffee, I keep saying coffee, 80 cups of lemonade, then I'll break even. And if you want to prove it, just stick 80 into here and see if you get 0, right? If you want to check your answer, make sure you got it right. So 80 divided by 2 is 40. 40 times 3 is 120. 120 minus 120 is 0. And so then our answer would be, we need 80 cups of lemonade. Don't forget your units. Okay, especially when it comes to story problems. All right, have a great day.